Recording, right? Yeah. Yeah. What is up, guys? I'm Kyle. He's B-Mac. And today we're talking about the NBA. It's almost here. Don't thank God yet. Something crazy could happen. The MLB keeps hurting itself, so we don't know if we'll ever get that back.
Man, those two sides, they got to do something.
That is something. And I was looking at some of this NBA stuff, and I think that they have the answer, but it's different. It's because I think Adam Silver makes a big difference, personally. He's just such a likable dude. He's just a good guy, it seems like. Shooty hoops, man.
Oh, come on, man. I'm so ready. I need the sports. NBA being back is going to be huge, too. I mean, the season was shaping up to be fun. You know, what are we going to see with the Western Conference? And then, of course, the Eastern Conference. You got your loaded top and not so good bottom.
Right.
Which, you know, we see with this format they're going forward. I really like the format. I think to just start in the playoffs with the 8 teams from the East and 8 teams from the West would have kind of been a disservice to some teams. Because like we said, I mean, to me, coming back and letting Portland get rested and get healthy is a big deal.
Please make me look right. Please. Well, at least let them be a playoff team, so it's not such a big L.
Yeah, they're just an older team, and I feel like New Orleans and Memphis, they look good for years to come. But
yeah,
are those rookies going to be able to handle this giant layoff and then get right back into the momentum they had?
Well, that's like I said to you. I sent you that video, the little clip of Carmelo hitting that jab step, you know, his kind of not patented,
oversized.
Yeah, and you're like, man, he used to have him. Like, that's now, bro. He's still like he was having a good season before all this happened, and just health, man. And we were talking before we started, like when everyone's healthy, Dame's got to be top, 3, top 5 easy conversation for point guard. I mean, definitely top 5. Definitely top 3. I mean, I think if everyone's healthy, yeah, it's only Steph Curry, maybe Chris Paul because he's a little different.
Yeah, maybe Chris Paul, maybe good Russell Westbrook.
Right.
When he's on, but yeah, I think that's the difference. I mean, you saw it last year in the playoffs. Dame was hitting daggers against.
Well, that's it too, though. Is that we talked about before when we were doing our Warriors episode. If you guys haven't checked that out, check that out. There's some good stuff in there. We compare them to the old Bulls and their dynasty, but we were talking about how when Steph Curry gets hot, his points feel like they matter more than other players like LeBron's or whoever else's, because like when he starts going, it just feels like his 30 means more than someone else's 30, and
it feels like
Russell Westbrook to comparing Russell Westbrook to Damian Lillard is the same way. Like when Dame is going, that team is just they're winning by like 20 points, 15, 20 points, and Dame will have 45, 50. Where Bradley Beal will have that and lose. But I mean, that's different. His team's a little worse, but I don't know.
Not this good. No, but I mean, the thing too with Dame is as much credit as we give Steph for being a long range shooter, Dame hits them in the same spots, like deep threes. I mean, he hits them deep, and I'm pretty sure they ran the stats. And last year, he was the best 3-point shooter, like 5 feet plus beyond the arc. So I mean, the dude has range, and it's
silly, dude. He's so underrated. It's so unfortunate that he. Maybe is it because he's in Portland, or I don't know. I feel like he doesn't get the love. Like last year, they were the 2 seed, man. They were so good, and then Nurkic gets hurt, and that kind of derails the whole thing that they had going on. Like Nurkic was such a good player for them, and that's why I was so high on him. Them bringing in Hassan Whiteside because he was so good. Because but it's kind of just it's like a oh my goodness, from the Clippers,
DeAndre Jordan.
There it is. I almost said it. DeAndre Jordan. It's kind of just a proven thing, right? You get a little defense, you get some rebounds, high percentage shots. It's a pretty proven commodity. And I just felt like that's what they were going to get from him, and it would have helped.
Yeah, I like him. Still, my biggest complaint about him is just I don't know if CJ McCollum's that that right fit for them. I feel like him and Dame are too the same. And maybe if they had a separate two guard, it might work a little better. But I don't know. I like Portland. I like the players. Yeah, I think they got a shot at making it, man. I really do.
I think the problem when we're looking at CJ McCollum is that we're considering him as like the sidekick kind of player. So when you look at him compared to if Dame is definitely, we'll say he's definitely the second best point guard in the league, and he can carry a team to a few pretty big wins like he did last year over OKC, like we said. But you look at that 1-2 punch as far as Westbrook and Paul George, and you put Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum next to him, it doesn't quite look the same. It looks like there's a definite advantage on OKC. But how would you feel as far as if you took the third best player on most teams and compared him to CJ McCollum? Because I think last year, and that's why they were so good, is because Nurkic was the other guy. It wasn't CJ McCollum.
I don't have a problem with CJ McCollum's talent level. It's just the same. He does a lot of the same things that Dame does. And to me, it's hard for them to both be hot at the same time because one of them needs the ball. I mean, it's not like CJ McCollum's a spot-up shooter and he's going to run off screens and he's going to get open and Dame's going to hit him in the corner for a three. They both need the ball to get going. And I just feel like that's very hard for them to coincide at the same time because they're both multiple shot takers. They need to get in a rhythm. And more than likely, if one's in a rhythm, the other's not in the best rhythm. That doesn't mean he's not going to score points, but it's just hard for them to both catch fire. Like we talked about Golden State. Man, all those dudes can catch fire because they were all tremendous spot-up shooters.
Right.
Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. They don't need the ball to be good, and that's what made their offense work so well because all of them could pass. You know, they're not the best passers, but they can all pass, find the open guy. And, of course, you're going to find the open guy when you got, the arguably three of the best shooters in the NBA. Right?
Do you think that it's hard to say. I was just thinking about it a little bit. Do you think that they would benefit from a coaching change? It's hard to say because they were so good last year, and then this year they're just so hurt where you don't really get to see what you have. But I think that what you think they're missing, it might be just philosophy, like we've talked about with Steve Kerr, in the sense that I think they have what they need as far as just moving the ball around and like high-low with Whiteside and Nurkic. And then a player like Melo really fits that team. Like,
well, they were also missing
looking at it on paper.
They're also missing like a third scoring option. I like Nurkic.
I think they're missing a third scoring option on the perimeter. Because having another, especially in today's NBA, having another person that will make you respect that three. But I think Nurkic is an underrated player, man. He was really, really good last year.
Yeah, I know.
I only know that not because of the media, but because I had him in fantasy basketball, and he was just killing it. I mean, even the game he broke his leg, I think he had like 44 points and 20 rebounds or something absurd like that with like 7 missed shots, which is ridiculous. And then they go to overtime. Like, if they never go to overtime, how much difference does that look? Yeah. Because he breaks his leg in overtime, which is insane. Like, maybe if they miss a free throw and they just lose that game, or it's vice versa.
That goes to the finals.
Maybe. Because, I mean, who knows?
Golden State was
the Warriors
really
were hurt. Yeah. They were in a good spot last year. It was very strange. It's just another fun what if. But kind of back to the NBA's kind of, I guess, the revival, their comeback. Comparing them, we talked a little bit to compare them to the MLB, and it looks like what they're doing is they're going to pay a lot of the wages. It looks like they're not giving them quite as hard a hit as the MLB is, where the MLB, like we've talked about, is the contracts. All of these are based on projections for, just contract deals they have with TV companies and things like that. But because the NBA is capped, what they do very often, and that's why you see kind of a varying degree in the big contracts that kind of go for free agents, is that their salary cap fluctuates, where it's not a hard cap for a few years like the NFL's is. The NBA's moves around. So what they're doing is they're paying their players this year, not 100%. It looks like from what I've seen, it's about they're only getting about 25 to 30% of their salaries cut. So, that's way more than what the MLB is even considering.
Yeah, I mean, but they were so close to finishing the regular season. There's
sure there was a lot left. Sure, there was a lot left, but even at that, still though, for what's left, there's not going to be any fans. I think playoff basketball is way more electric than any other version of basketball, except for maybe your big college games, college basket or college. NBA. Excuse me. NBA basketball, you get the, defense, and you got to hear Mike Breen kind of yelling over the crowd and things like that. It's really awesome. It's so much fun to watch. Playoff hockey is the same kind of way. Playoff hockey without the fans and all that would be different. It's kind of be strange to watch. Mm-hmm. There's just the atmosphere. You can't replace it. And they've talked about doing crowd noise and things like that. And
they're talking about bringing it in from 2K, right?
Yeah. And 2K does a good job with that. I think that the crowd noise in that is fine. It's just the fans just look like cardboard cutouts, but that doesn't matter. The only thing that's going to be weird about it is that for the players, it's going to be just kind of the whole setting's going to be weird just because you don't have that energy. And there's no.
Basketball is the one sport where the momentum, you can feel it in the crowd. You know, like we were saying with Steph. Steph comes down and hits, how many times did we see it when the Warriors were in their heyday and they're down 15 plus points. Steph comes down and hits a 30-foot three.
It might have even been more than that, bro. Like if they're down 20, I've seen them do it. The San Antonio game when Kawhi went out, they were down 21 or 24.
Yep. And it was a blowout. They ended up blowing them out. And
they come out at halftime, and I think it was either Steph or Clay. They slap 1-3, and you just hear it, it's deflating. And then the crowd loves that shit, and then they get all fired up. And the second one comes, bam, and then that's just like a gut punch to the other team. Like, dude, they're gonna do this again.
We can't stop them.
Yeah, that doubt immediately goes in their head because you've seen it. You don't get the crowd kind of rubbing it in your face.
You don't get it in NFL. You don't get it in MLB. I mean, Clayton Kershaw doesn't throw a nasty 1-1 slider, and then all of a sudden the crowd's like, my heavens, my stars, and then it's just over. You
might get the three guys behind home plate that you can't hear anyways because the place is so loud just from general clamor. Mm-hmm. That's been us. Final thoughts? Thank God for basketball. Root for the Blazers so I don't look stupid.
I mean, just root for whoever you want to root for. We're not here to tell
Blazers. It's Blazers. We're rooting for Blazers. They need all the love. The Bulls are already out of it. They've been out of it since they started filming that documentary 20 years ago. Anyways.
Well, I think I'm going to go for Duke South then and all those Duke guys at New Orleans.
God, you're so ass. Anyways. I'm Kyle. He's B-Mac. Give black actors some work. And remember to love each other, love yourselves, and stay adventurous.
We'll be out.